What it is, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, today is junk day. So I'm cutting this 4Runner up. I just cut the front solid axle out of it. I'm getting ready to drop the transfer case out of it, and then I'm going to burn the rear out and going to load it up on the truck. Well, I'll get it ready to load up on the truck. Probably haul it in Monday. I had a lot of people ask me, why don't I fix this truck? This truck is clapped out. It's rotted. The frame rails are gone. The cab's got rot in it. I got no title to it. The bed's trash. I mean, the thing's been sitting in the woods for 20 some years on a farm. The guy just let it go and then just until it rotted out. So the whole reason I bought the truck was for the solid front axle. So eventually I can do a solid axle swap in my 4Runner. I got an 86 4Runner, and eventually I want to do a solid axle swap. This is the perfect candidate to cut up for a solid axle swap. Now this thing does have a 350 Chevy in it and a turbo 350 automatic trans. Motor's full of water, and it looks like there's a bunch of dents in the oil pan. So it looks like sometime it blew up and then they just let it sit. And the old hood that was on it had vents in it, and it just filled the motor full of water. Let's go over and take a look. I don't know if you can really tell in the video, but if you notice, the pan's kind of ballooned right here. And it's ballooned on the sides. And I don't know if you can make out in the video, but you can see some dents here. More than likely through a rod, but the pan's ballooned because it was full of water. So it probably filled up with water, froze, probably about 1 million times over the last 20 years. But it does have a Toyota transfer case with the adapter to bolt the Toyota transfer case to the Turbo 350, so I'm going to save that. But as you can see, the frame rails are just gone. I mean, there's just nothing left. I mean, it's just, you can put your hand through it. The rear shackle is rotted right off the frame in the back. I mean, the bed is just full of rot. I mean, there's just nothing left of the bed. It's got a lot of body filler in it. And look at all that. And look at the body filler. So, I mean, it's just, somebody handmade these flares, which are kind of neat. But again, it's full of mud. It's got a lot of mud in it. I mean, a lot. I don't know if I can peel any of it off, but these are actually metal. But they did a lot of mud work to it. But you can just see it's just rotted. There isn't even any sheet metal worth saving on this truck. I think here you can see how they handmade them and welded them on. I mean, they did a pretty good job. I mean, considering this was probably done 25 years ago or more. And look at the mud on it. I don't know why, but for some odd reason, it's always satisfying to peel body filler off. But look at it. It's just all... Look at that. So it's just full of mud, and it's just not worth saving. As far as inside goes, I mean, they even made flares on the front. I mean, they did a pretty good job. It's kind of a shame that it's just as bad a shape it's in, but you can see how much mud was in them. A lot of mud. Somebody did a really good job fabbing them up. Inside, I'm going to save the factory tack and all that. I'm going to save. It's got a factory clock. I'll save all that stuff, and some of the plastic on the dash I'll save. Probably save the B&M shifter since it still works. The cable's still hooked up. It's really a shame. I really like these seats. These are my favorite seats that the Toyota trucks had, but there's no saving them, I don't think. I don't think they'll ever, this thing smells so bad inside. I don't think they'll ever be good. Yes, there she is, 84. And I had one of these 30 years ago too, in 84. I loved it. But yeah, we're gonna cut the rear out of her and get the rest of it apart. Last time this thing was on the road was 02. The last time I had a valid tag. Whoops. Now we got to clean that mess up. Oh, got the transfer case out. Rear up here and put it over there. So that's out. Now I'm going to burn the rear out. I'm going to set this on the stack of other rears I'm saving. Give me a hot minute. Well, I would have finished the video of me cutting that rear and everything out of this thing, but somebody stopped by and I got to bullshitting, sold some more junk, and I forgot to finish filming. So Toyota's ready to be loaded up. Threw some more scrap in the bed, and looks like the bed gave out. So yeah, she's crusty. I just loaded half a frame in there. I'm going to set a couple motors in there, and got one junk rear. That way at least it'll have some weight to it when I haul it in for junk. And that one's done, ready to go. Oh, I gotta get the front steering box out. But this was a first I had to do. Let me spin you around. I talked before about how this thing had a little small block Chevy in it. It had aluminum intake on it that I wanted to save, and I actually had to take the torch and cut the distributor shaft and melt the rest of it out of there so I get the intake off, because it's seized into the motor because the motor had so much water in it. So yeah, it's junk. I did get the intake. I did manage to save it. I thought the frame broke in half, but the bed's actually rotted in half. But we can actually count the we can actually figure out what year, like counting the rings on the tree. We can count the rings on the Bondo. Look at that. Look how many layers. This thing had some mud in her. It's a shame these are actually metal, but I mean, obviously a ton of body filler in it. But yep, she's just about ready to go. And then I got to cut that one up tomorrow. I'm going to work on that one. Get that out of there. But I did get the intake off. Old school, Holly, dual plane. Saved it. Saved the transfer case. This is the adapter with the spline shaft that allows you to put Toyota transfer case to a Chevrolet Trans. It's kind of neat. Maybe someday in the future I might use it, who knows, but I just couldn't bring myself to throw it away. That's the junk collector in me. So now I'm going to take the wrecker and we'll load up some junk motors I got in the back of a truck that I actually just sold. It was a parts truck, and a buddy of mine came here to pick a rear up that he bought from me, and he asked me, what are we going to do with that truck? I said, I'm filling it full of scrap and I'm going to junk it. He said, man, I want it. So he bought it. So it's going too. So I told him I'd take the junk out of the bed of it. The least I could do, I guess. So I got a rear back here that I took out of my buddy's 60 Ford pickup. It's a 9-inch, but it's full of water. It's no good. I'm just gonna throw it away. I hate to throw it away, but it didn't have a lick of gear oil in it. Straight water, so it's going. I just can't say, at the end of the day, you just can't save everything, you know? I mean, it is what it is. And I got a load of junk on the roof of this van. It's my next victim. Take you out back here. So the only thing I'm saving off that van is it's got a 9-inch rear in it, but the rear in those vans are specific to those vans, I should say, because the motor and trans sits over to the passenger side, so the rear pumpkin sits way off to the passenger side as well. I need that rear, and I'm going to cut the front suspension out of it as well for the van that I bought from California. That's an 8-lug van. That's all 5 lugs, so that way I can at least make the van 5 lug to get some shaggin' wagon wheels on it to look kind of, you know, a little more 70s. So that's about it. I'll sit you guys down while I load this trash up. Get you set up here. Well, that's really crooked. Now you're going to hear this thing idle up. It's only idling up to like 1500. It sounds louder on the video than it actually really is. It's not even 1500. It's like 1200. And that's so that the pumps the oil up to the hydraulic pump. That's how it's done. Now, if you don't have one of these trucks, you should get you one. Very handy. I'm gonna load this in the back of that Toyota. Last part there, me waving to somebody else stopped by. So unfortunately it was dark out by the time I loaded this thing up on the truck, or I would have shared loading it up. But as you can see, it's on the truck, and tomorrow morning, which will be Monday, it's going to its final resting place. But she you know, she's crusty. And actually the frame did break on the other side. It actually broke loading it up. I had to actually situate the chains up here on the front body mount as far up so I can drag it forward and get it on the truck. I still got to take the damn steering box off. I keep forgetting about it. But she's on the truck. She's loaded. I'll throw some straps on it. Luckily, the junkyard's like 4 miles from here, so ain't got far to travel. But it's on there. So I'm just now getting out here. I got a few things I got to do around the house. And then it's supposed to rain today, so I don't know if I'm going to get to cutting that thing up or not. I want to. But I don't think I'm going to make it. I think it's going to rain before I get a chance. It is what it is. I'm going to move some stuff around so that if it does rain, I got some stuff to do in the shop at least. Keep busy. I hate to waste a day. Got some vehicles to look at, vehicles to work on. But that's going to pretty much end it for this video for this today. I just figured I'd give a last little tidbit there. And bring you along on the next one I cut up, I guess. But I'm going to try to get a few things done before the rain sets in. And holler at your boy and keeps it reals. Catch me on the next one.